basically the plan today, by the way. I want to take questions from the homework. I'm pressing pause. I have a take-home quiz for you, which has momentum at angles, lots of questions. That's due next class. That's due Thursday. Then I'm also going to finally go over the work and energy test. I haven't gone over that. Most people did really, really well, but there's probably some fine-tuning questions we want to talk about on the work and energy test, because work and energy is still fair game for this unit as well, as far as I'm concerned. I sent an email out earlier today. I'm doing a tutorial tomorrow after school, Wednesday after school. Your test is going to be a week from today, Tuesday next week. And I emailed out links to my previous 2 tutorial videos as well. Actually, one from a couple of years ago that's got some good hits, so I assume it's fairly good. And then one that I did last year. Okay? So, someone has asked from lesson 6, number 5. Let's use my clever... Okay. I like this question. I like this question. I like this question. Now, this one's not too bad. I see east and I see south. I think it's going to end up being SOHCAHTOA, which is going to be kind of nice. I'm still going to do a compass rose somewhere. Josh, is there a collision? This is a job for conservation and momentum. Now, I'm going to cut corners a little bit here in the interests of time, okay? Before the collision, what's moving? The car, the truck, or both? Both, separate or stuck together? I'm going to go straight to the DOLP portion. Normally, I would write momentum truck initial plus momentum. I'm going to go straight to the DOLP. Car is moving east, and it's apparently going to be 2,000 times 14. Well, 2 times 14 is 28, so 2,000 times 14, I think it's going to be 28,000. There's the momentum. Plus, truck moving south. How big? 4,400 times 10, which is going to be 44,000. My scale is garbage right now. When I draw the actual triangle, I'll do it better. Equals, did they tell me anything? It just said they stick together. Okay. I'll certainly add these together tip to tail. There's the resultant. You okay with that, kiddo? Oh, hey, lovely right angle triangle. By the way, what's this question want me to find? I'm done. Right, in terms of, I can just now put it, that's the direction, I think. And I can use tangent. I mean, since they didn't want me to find this velocity, by the way, if they had said find the velocity, I would have gone 28,000 squared plus 44,000 squared square root. And then I would have divided by both masses because they stuck together. So it would have been divided by 2,000 plus 4,400. There's the speed, 8.1, blah, blah, blah. But all they want's the angle, and it's going to be tangent. So tan theta is going to be 44,000 over 28,000. I'm pretty sure the answer, if you do that shift tan of that, I'm guessing you made a typo glitch or something, because even looking at this, since my drawing is roughly to scale, this looks like about a 45-degree angle roughly, which 57.5 is fairly close to. Or you had your calculator in the wrong mode, or you forgot brackets or something. So this would make a good multiple choice question. This is a nice way, Nate, if I want you not to have to do all of the work, but still test, hey, can you draw a good vector diagram? I'll just say, find the direction. Or I'll just find the speed and not bother with the direction. Okay. Is that okay? Yep.
I know you didn't assign them, but will we see questions like 4 and 6 on the test?
I don't know. Let me look at them.
2 moving before and then 2 after?
4 would be fair game if they stuck together, because then you only have one thing moving after. Okay, you got to divide by both masses.
But we won't see 2 momentum.
Let me look. Find the unknown speed and direction. I would consider this tricky-ish, but it's not as hideous because right angle, right angle, right angle, I only really have to deal with that one. So I think what I would do is I would figure out how much momentum I had beforehand, write it as one vector equals that plus. It's doable as a fair, it would be fair game as a yucky, nasty multiple choice, really nasty, but not as a written. And I'm not going to give you something like that. Oh, heck, yeah, that's what you're asking. I won't do something like that. What about what was your other one, 6?
It's similar. It's 2 different momentums after.
Yeah. Really what I should do is I should do it in the homework so that you would find the rest of stuff easier. Or I think what I'm going to do next year is I'm going to take 4 and 6 and add them to like lesson 6.5, the nasties, or maybe even lesson 8, the stuff at the very, very end when it's kind of percolated for a while. I revamped these lessons in November, and because I wasn't happy with the way it went last year, and I moved stuff around, and I think I lost track of what I wanted to move around. All I know is on November on my computer, something popped up saying, move the questions around on lesson 5 and 6 in momentum. And I went, okay, what was it? And I couldn't quite remember what I was getting at. So my brain damaged, my brain dead. How about lesson, 6.5? Were there any of these that you were saying, okay, I cannot get the answer? By the way, I believe the answer to number 1, I actually crunched it, and I think the answer to the homework number 1 was, yeah, I got 8.9 meters per second, 49 degrees south of west, because that was the one that I didn't have the answer for. Any of these that you were saying, ugh, now is your chance to ask. Don't be scared. Sorry? Okay. Now, if you haven't done these yet, be a little worried. If you have no idea how to do these, be a little more worried. But I'm around today after school. I'm doing a tutorial tomorrow. I'm around Thursday and Friday after school, as far as I know, assuming you guys live up to your bargain. Yeah.
I wasn't here when we finished this sheet off. So
Yeah.
I don't know which questions were assigned.
All of them. All of them. I think I did this in one day. It was just 2 questions. So if you're here for the lesson, I think I just assigned all of them. Which is maybe why you're confused, because nothing was circled. I think I just said, yeah, do all of them all. Any of these? Okay. Then, any questions from lesson 7, which had combination questions? Number 4. Okay. Part of number 4 to me is great. Part of it is a little overkill. In fact, I've made a mental note actually though, because it's such nice review, I may stick something next year like number 4 on a take-home quiz, and you'll see why in a second. Any before number 4, like, hey, number 3? Sorry, someone asked 3? 1B? Okay. You got 1A okay? Okay, 1B, from lesson 7, what's it want you to find, Mickey? Okay, we have 3 definitions of work. We can go, I'm not seeing no force, no distance, nothing, so nah. Work is also the area underneath a force versus position or distance graph. Do you see a graph? No. Who remembers what was the 3rd definition of work? Well, I got to be fussy. Rafi said it's actually change in potential plus change in kinetic. But I'm assuming all of these pictures are top view, like we're looking down, like we're watching curling or something, which means I don't think there's a change in height. Okay? And you're going to lose some kinetic energy. Now, what's the change in kinetic? If you add up the kinetic energy of this, which is going to be a half mv final squared, which you found in part A, which m 6, and then you minus a half mv initial squared, which at 1 and 10 squared, you'll get a negative answer. You should get negative 42 or negative 41 point something or joules. That's how much you lost, because kinetic energy is not conserved. Total energy, yes. but not kinetic energy. Momentum, yes, but not kinetic energy. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Somebody asked number 3 or not? No one did? Okay. Oh, so yeah? Okay. Did you try it? You did? Good. I like number 3. I like number 3. I like number 3. And I'll even tell you which part of number 3 I like. Okay. Zach, what are they asking me to find in part A? Now, it's possible I might be able to go F equals ma, but the fact that they said average force, they added that modifier, I think maybe they're hinting, hey, try using another approach for force. In particular, in this unit, I think what I'm looking at is that. That has a force in it. Now, how would I know that they wanted me to use this? I would quickly scan the question and I would say, hey, did they give me a time variable or a time elapsed anywhere in the question? And I see this. So you know what? I'm going to go with you okay with that? Now, the time, how many balls each second? So I think 1 ball is a third of a second. Is that okay? I'm going to put a 1/3 down there. You could put 0.3333, but the time elapsed for 1 ball, 1/3. Otherwise, I think this is in a nice straight line. I don't see any hint of angles or anything like that. So I think I can go mv final minus mv initial. Is that okay, Zach?
Yeah.
What's the mass? So kilograms? 0.7? Yeah, 0.7 is 700 grams, right? So 0.07. Zach, what's my final velocity?
7,
That's my final velocity? Sorry? 15? Minus, mass is 0.07. What's my initial velocity? Nope. Why negative? What word did I underline? Rebounds. Does that imply a change in direction? So if you're letting the rebound be positive, then the incoming better be negative. Or you could have let the incoming be positive and the outgoing be negative. I don't care. But now that you said that, then I better do that. Sure, as long as you're consistent for the whole question. In fact, to be perfectly frank, Jordan, what I do is I tend, if I notice, by the way, there's two ways to rebound, off of a wall or, hey, look up. That was a rebound as well. There was a change in direction when you bounce something. I tend to let the initial be negative, and that's only because that way I get a minus, which is a, and I've learned I make less dumb mistakes with positive numbers overall. That's me being a really test paranoid nerd kid who wrote tests well. That should get you the 7, in fact, I think that does get you the 7.35. Okay? Zach, what does B want me to find? I think what they're really wanting you to find is the change in kinetic energy, which is going to be final minus initial, and it's a scalar. You'll get a negative answer because the ball lost some energy, the wall absorbed some energy. Is that okay? Now let's get to number 4.
If we solve it with F equals ma, is that still acceptable?
Did you get the right answer?
Yeah.
Sure. What you're really saying is, oh, I've proved that that's another definition of force. That is equivalent to ma, apparently. And I think I told you that was really what Newton was interested in for his definition. He didn't really do the F equals ma. Zach, you asked this, yes?
Yeah.
I like part of this, and part of this to me is overkill. Yo.
You said you would say which part of number 3 you
Oh, the rebound. To be honest, I don't mind that whole thing, actually. But in particular, on your test, you can definitely expect a nice linear question. Linear is too easy. That's physics 11. I'll make it rebound. That's vectors. That's physics 12. Okay? Zach, the part of this that is totally fair game, so it says this mass below starts at, let me make this a little smaller so I can fit it on one page. Starts at rest, slides down a frictionless ramp, hits and sticks to a stationary 5 kilogram mass, and together they fly off the table. This is identical to when we did lesson 7, my question with the spectacular drawing. It's identical to that part there. That, to me, totally fair game. So in other words, the first thing that I would do is I would say, okay, I need to find speed at A, which is going to be, hey, there's a change in height, there's a change in speed, there's a curvy path, at least at the very bottom. I think I would go I'm going to let you take that yourself. Okay? Then it moves forward and we get to situation B. Wham! They collide. Did I say collide? So for situation B, find V final after the collision, which is in a nice straight line. Okay. It's going to be collision, momentum. Before the collision, what's moving? Momentum 1 initial. Momentum both final. You okay with that? That, A and B, as far as I'm concerned, totally fair game. In fact, you're going to see something like that on your test. I'm going to send something down a hill, have it collide with something else, and say, how fast do they move off afterwards? Now, where I do like this question, but not for your test, just because it's lovely review, is the next part, because what's it asking you to find?
Horizontal distance.
The range. That's unit 1. That would be vertical. That would be bringing our t-table, where AX is, what was our no-brainer? 0, and AY was negative 9.8. Now, I noticed looking at the picture, we're launching horizontally from a cliff, which means VX is going to be whatever you got after the collision would go there. What would VY initial be if we're launching horizontally? 0. This is not enough. Oh, they told me one more thing. They told me my vertical displacement. Negative 2, because we're ending up below from where we started. Now I could find time, and once I found time over here, I could find dx, because it's just going to be vxt. What happened to the half at squared? Horizontally, a is 0. In fact, I think time over on the right-hand side, do you recall, Mac? It was almost always d equals vit plus a half at squared. But vi horizontally was 0. In fact, this is the one where we ended up with 2 times d over a square rooted. I like that because it's lovely review, Mickey. I don't like that. I'm not going to be reviewing projectile motion on this test. But I have to be honest, I've made a mental note to myself next year to maybe stick one of these on the quiz because, oh, it's nice review. And we are halfway through the course, pretty close. Halfway through the year, pretty close. So I think it's technically fair game, but a little overkill. Is that okay, Naomi? Is that okay, Zach?
Yep.
I'll let you try the rest of it on your own, but I'm pretty sure that'll get you there. Any other questions from homework? Lesson 8, there was no homework except for the big review, and that I won't take questions on yet. I'll say go check my handwritten answer key. So I have for you a take-home quiz. As you're getting the homework done, can you try and get it into me? But if you need it to study from, that's okay as well. Take-home